In this video, I would like to inform everyone about an upcoming training in fish farming. Hi everyone, long time no see. Yeah, it's good to be back. This is Naturally Afrosis. I am back again with another video. I would like to welcome you to Fuse Farms. So when I welcome you to Fuse Farms, it means we know that we're going to be talking about fish farming. So in this video, I would like to address training issues. Yeah, there's a training that is coming up. So if you want to get the rest of the details, please make sure you stay tuned. I've always been telling you that the fish farming trainings have always been available. I'm going to give you a bit more detail on the training being offered by Breathing Fish Farm. I've decided to do so because I've been asked a lot of questions like, how many fingerlings do you put in a fish pond? How do you know how much you budget? But I have really attempted to give a breakdown, plus or minus, of how much it cost to do a 40 by 10, but then you need to know how many pond liners you need in a particular pond. But that's not really a big deal because the people that are selling those liners, they normally advise you, and it shouldn't really be a very big deal. But for the purpose of budgeting, you might need to know all that information. Then others would tell me that they stocked their fingerlings without fertilizing the pond, and they just saw that the fish started floating, meaning the fish died. Others would send me pictures of a pond not holding water because they thought the pond was clay and they did not put any liners, so the water kept on seeping through. So I would like you to know that it's important to always have information in your fingertips before you start doing something. You don't have to have a PhD in fish farming for you to start, but you need just the basic. Like I started, I'm not an expert, but at least I started last year, and last year was very good. As you can see from the photos here, I think I should do a video showing you how the first year of fish farming was. A lot of lessons were learned. There were ups and downs. I won't lie to you that everything went smooth. So yeah, in this video, I will be describing the course outline or giving you a detailed information on the training, and I'll also be giving you the dates on when the trainings are going to happen. So I got this information from Dr. Kachaka himself of Breathing Fish Farm. So I got permission to use their training outline. So this is to help you, my viewers, since you've been asking me when the trainings are going to be held, what is covered in the trainings, is it something that someone can learn? Can someone who's never been to school learn? So I'll be describing the training using their outline to you so that you know which particular training you should take. But I can assure you, anybody can learn, whether you speak English, Nyanja, Zinglish, or you speak Tonga, you speak Lozi, you speak Luvale, you will be able to learn. And that is why I believe so far, I haven't seen other trainings. That's why I believe so far his trainings are very good, because during my training, I attended with my workers with different levels of education, and we got the same knowledge. In some cases, they actually did better than me in terms of implementation. Things that I would forget, they would remember. I'll be giving you the dates at the end of this video, so don't you worry. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into the outline. On day one, this is what you're going to cover: defining aquaculture and the types of water necessary for aquaculture, pond designing and construction, pond liner specification, calculating the number of liners required for your ponds, pond liner joining and patching, filling in the pond, and pond fertilization. I get a lot of questions like, why did you choose pond liners? Why don't you use concrete ponds? Why don't you use a stream or just a dam? So at the end of the day, depending on the type of land that you have and the location, you will know which type of ponds to do. Even the water sources that you need, types of water. So if you have a stream, you will know that you can be able to have water from the stream, what type of measures you need to do to stop the fish from going out or other things from coming in. All those things, you're going to cover them. And then if you don't have a stream, you will know by the end of the course that you need to drill boreholes or whatever. And then even the numbers of pond liners for your pond, you're going to learn. I attempted in a video on what you need to construct a 40 by 10, but I used the calculations on a 40 by 10. The course will make sure that you know how to calculate on your own. And then you will also learn how to join. You will choose whether you want to do the joining yourself or you want to just hire someone to do it for you. Then you also cover pond fertilization. So before you stock, you will need to fertilize your pond. All that will be covered. They'll give you different methods of fertilizing your pond. That's all covered in day one. It's pretty intense but manageable. So I'm just giving you summaries because the course will cover everything. So it's not rocket science. Then day 2, you will look at fingerlings. Then you also look at fish species, types of fish. Most of us in Lusaka do Nile tilapia, but there's also a different type called Andersoni. Then there are about 5 species, so I don't want to preempt. You need to go and get the training for yourself, and then you know which fingerlings to buy for your area, because certain areas, certain species are not allowed. So all that you're going to know. It's not good for you to start doing fish. Halfway through, the government comes and then they confiscate your fish and destroy it because you've introduced a species that is not right for that location. So you need to go and learn. All those things are covered. Stocking density, yes, I get a lot of questions on how many fingerlings can I stock in a 10 by 10, in a 50 by 10, how many fingerlings can I stock in this and that. I attempted to calculate for the pond size that I have, but you will learn how to do the calculations yourself once you do the training. Then the procedure of stocking, I also did a video on how we stock. So there might be mistakes from there. There might be things that I haven't explained, but during your course, everything will be covered. And then there's also fish feed, sample weighing, feed rations, pond biomass, budget and calculations. Yes, we've talked about this, and pond liming. By the end of the course, you should be able to know how much feed you need for your pond size and how much feed you will need, let's say, for the whole cycle, like from stocking to the end, or what type of feed at what stage you need. On day 3, you will be taught how to manage your pond. So in the pond management, you're going to learn the elements required for your fish to survive in the water. So you will cover the pH, the temperature, what temperatures are required for your fish, the turbidity, dissolved oxygen, which is very, very important. You find that most people will lose the fish because of less dissolved oxygen in the water. It happened to me as well. So it's something that I'm also still learning. It's better for you to know, and you will be able to start troubleshooting on your own without even involving other people. So you also cover predators. Your fish has got predators. Even human beings are predators. Your farm workers, they will steal from you, and those are also predators to the fish. You also talk about security. So you're going to learn about how to secure your fish. You will think twice. For example, if you wanted to do your farm in Kafue or you wanted to do your farm in Kabwe, and then you are in Lusaka, there is no one to monitor, you don't go there often, it might flop. So you will realize after the training that you need to be close. Like for us, we actually live at the farm now. We followed the fish. You will also cover fish harvesting. You will be taught how to harvest, the things that you need, equipment you need, just the tools that you need to be able to harvest properly. And then you will also learn about marketing. If it weren't for the lessons that I got on the marketing from this training, I wouldn't have known how to sell 3,000 pieces or 4,000 pieces of fish in one day or in just 2 days and finish the whole pond as a newbie, because I wasn't known. But because of the training, at least I learned how to market. It wasn't perfect, but I learned how to market. And I must mention that the very first time we harvested, our fish wasn't very big. Most of it was 300 grams. And there are people that don't really like 300 grams, others like bigger fish. So it is important also for you to communicate the size correctly. When you're selling, you say if your average weight for the fish is 300 grams, say. If it's 400 grams, you say, so that people take it or leave it. Then you sell people without knowing, then they get disappointed. Although again, it's very difficult even for others that don't know. When you tell them that my fish is 300 grams or it's 400 grams, they don't know how to visualize that. So you find that you know that a 300-gram fish looks like this. The customer may not know. So you find that sometimes there are people that will tell you, I don't like big ones, I like small ones because they are tastier and crunchy when you fry them. So there are different customers, so you need to be able to learn to cater to everyone. We learn as we go. So our first harvest went very well. We managed to sell everything in one day, but we got some feedback. And don't get annoyed when people give you feedback. We got some feedback. Some of the customers complained that the fish were small. So we realized that we also needed to communicate effectively and tell people the actual size, maybe by showing like this or something, because even if you say to some people that it's 300 grams, like I said, some people won't even know. And then you also learn how to run your fish farm as a business. After you learn this and you do your calculations, you come to realize that below a certain point, your fish farming is a hobby, and beyond a certain point, then it becomes a business. So you will get to learn all those things in 3 days, of course. I get a lot of questions. I don't mind sharing information, but I think it's important for you to go and sit in class and learn. The material is user-friendly and there's usually a mix of language. So I think with the training, in my view, the way they approach it, it's for you to understand, not for them to complicate your life. It's for everyone to understand as long as you can hear. And it's fun. Huh? The trainer is really, really fun to listen to. And God-fearing, motivational speaker. By the time you are leaving the training, you would want to start excavating your ponds. Now let's move to when the training is going to be. So this training is going to be on March 29th to 31st. So you book now and register now. So don't worry, even if you miss it, I'll give you the details down below. You can call Breathing Fish Farm, Dr. Kachaka, email them, WhatsApp them. They respond quickly. After this one, there'll be a follow-up training now for workers. So if you want, you can attend this training with your worker. If you feel that your worker might not benefit much from the 3-day English practical training, and if you feel your worker might not learn best by, sorry, power has gone, so forgive my dimness in light. So if you feel your worker might not be able to grasp things by listening or by being taught, we learn differently. Others learn best by doing. Then you might register them for the practical and for workers, the one that is in local languages, Bemba, Nyanja, Tonga, and scattered English, as they call it themselves. So this one will be in April 2021. Yeah, the actual dates for this one haven't yet communicated, but I should be able to give them to you once they are announced. They are found in Lusaka West along Mongu or Mumbwa Road, whatever you call it. I call it Mongu Road, others call it Mumbwa Road. They are located slightly after Westwood Police Station. you can call their numbers. They'll give you the details on the charges. Most people that live in Lusaka commute, but I'm told now they have a lodge, so if you want, you can lodge there and have the benefit to observe the behavior of fish in the night. Because when we went, we just knew that in the night sometimes fish struggles when the conditions of the water are not very good. But we had to learn the hard way. Around 03 somewhere there, you would find a lot of fish gasping and whatnot. It's better you observe it than you get a rude shock. So those are some of the things that you will be able to experience as you take the course. So March 29th to 31st, that's the training date for the 3-day practical training. And then for the workers, the more practical one, the learning by doing, it will be done in April. This is good. It's also important for you to enroll your workers because they're the ones that will manage your fish. We go to work, someone needs to remain feeding the fish. They need to know how much to feed, how to feed, and whatnot. So even your workers need to be trained. Don't feel castle to pay for them. It's an investment on your part. So that's that about the training. I hope you found this video helpful. These are the numbers that you can use to register, make inquiries, contact them, and they will provide you with their account details. When foreigners come to learn, I remember when we were doing our training, there were people from Namibia, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. If you're not able to travel, there is also an online training. But for that one, I am not too sure on the dates. I need to find out for you. So in the next video, I'll be able to mention when the online training is going to take place. So I think we should be ending our video now. I wish you all the best, and I hope I've given you enough insight for you to go and do the training. It's only 3 days, you are done. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure you subscribe. It will help me a lot. Share and turn on your notification button so that you don't miss a thing whenever I do new videos. Bye. See you in the next one.